Hello and welcome back to my channel. Y'all know when I pull out the neutral makeup, it's gonna be one of those days where it's gonna be a pretty serious conversation. And boy oh boy, today is it a serious conversation. The Senate has failed us. Did I expect them to vote to impeach Donald Trump? No. Did I expect them to call witnesses? No, but it's still a gut punch when you see it out loud. And you see how corrupt and how bad these senators are, especially with the evidence Lev Parnas has come out with the evidence John Bolton is willing to testify to. I mean, there's literally no excuse for the senators to be saying that they don't want to call witnesses. But they've decided that they want to be absolutely horrifically shameful and not call witnesses, even though there are Republican senators that absolutely know what the president has done is wrong and terrible and absolutely the worst thing out there. He bribed he bribed. A lot of people say it's not bribing. I'm sticking with bribing. Bribing, coerced, blackmailed, you name it, all around a foreign country to get dirt on a political rival. And that's not okay. And between Alan Dershowitz saying that as long as he thought it was in the greater good, he can do whatever he wants, to the clip I'm about to show you of another senator going on to CNN and talking about how, yeah, he knows it was wrong. He knows that Donald Trump shouldn't have done it, but because the House didn't do their job, which is a lie, they did do their job. They tried to subpoena witnesses like John Bolton, and they just didn't show up. So instead of fighting months and years in court, which Donald Trump would do, they decided to just go ahead and continue gathering evidence and get what they could and go from there. And if you know how trials work, even right up to the point of prosecution, they're still getting evidence. They can still introduce things like that. And this is just not okay. But let's play that clip and then let's go back and discuss it.
Rick?
Well, with all due respect, Kirsten, what you all have been arguing since we've been on the show is process. You're just saying they wouldn't call a witness, that they trampled the Constitution. Process matters. What the House did was, in my mind, a travesty. You can make the argument, and you have, that the Senate should have heard it, and there's certainly a reasonable argument to do it. But this was, the taint, as they say in law, the taint of the poisonous tree, and that's what we've had here. And it's been a bad scene the whole way through.
Is there anything in your mind, though, to prevent the president from tomorrow calling up Zelensky and saying, "All right, let's do it again now. Let's get this going." Announce an investigation, or calling up China or any other country? I mean, is there any guardrail now?
Well, yeah, I think there is a guardrail. And look, I think number one, the president was impeached for doing this, and a big part of the country is not happy that the president did that, and a lot of them wanted witnesses. So I think anybody who walks away with this thinking the president just sort of got a hall pass to do whatever he is, I think is absurd.
Do you really believe though that the president feels chastened or apologetic? I mean,
no. What you're going to see, you've already seen it from some of the statements from Republican senators. You're going to see a lot more on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You're going to see Republicans. Some will unequivocally defend the president, but a lot are not going to do that. A lot are going to come down where Lamar Alexander, Marco Rubio, Rob Portman, and others have come down, Pat Toomey, and are going to be very critical of the president, the way he handled himself.
But to what end, Senator? I mean, to what effect? I mean, the scolding seems to be for posterity, because this president has said multiple times over he did nothing wrong. He, in fact, did the thing he's accused of in public, telling China and Ukraine to go ahead and investigate his political rival on camera. So if the effect of impeachment is not only to prevent future presidents from behaving this way, but the current one, what proof do you have that he won't try to crime again?
I would align with what Lamar Alexander said. Look, the president saying those things, I think, was improper. I don't think he should be encouraging other people to do it. But that doesn't mean you give him the death penalty. There's other things you can do to a president other than kill him, remove him from office, and ban him from running in the next election.
No, but I understand. But what can you do? Like, what is to stop him now from doing it again?
Well, there's all sorts of things you can
Other
do
than
from
conscious or a sense of shame, but I don't think he has a sense of shame.
Rick,
Well,
your
I mean,
Republican history is wrong.
there will
You're
be more investigations. There will be more congressional resolutions passed. There may be, if he does it again, there might be a censure. There might be another impeachment. Who knows? The idea that the Congress is going to sit there and if the president does, and I don't think he will, but if he does, that the president will that the Congress will sit there and benignly allow the president to do it is ridiculous.
But
Rick,
the
in
problem is
Watergate,
he
I wanna
hasn't
go back to what
apologized
you-
for it.
go ahead,
Well,
Chris.
he hasn't apologized for it. He hasn't said he did anything wrong. He's like Bill Clinton did. So why would we think that he's going to change, Rick? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, Bill Clinton actually
Right, if that was the perfect
apologized
call,
for
why
it.
not have
He
more
actually said
perfect
that he
calls?
sinned.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
And now
why
he knows
would-
that Republicans in Congress are going to defend him to the end. So there's literally no reason for him, no incentive for him to not do this or worse again.
Especially
is
coming up
about-
close to an election, now you know
The
you can
stakes
do
are
anything
higher.
close to an election and nobody will do anything because it's close to an election.
Right.
I know. For those of you conspiracy theorists that love to stalk my page, it was a CNN video, but I mean, you gotta go where the senators go, so they show up on CNN. I'm gonna click a CNN link. That was Rick Santorum being like, what he did was bad. Like, what he did was really bad, but the Senate or the House didn't do its job, so now we're the Senate, and we don't have to do ours now. The Senate, we don't think the House did their job, so why should we do ours? I mean, why should we hold the President of the United States accountable for his actions? Why? Then he goes on to state that that the president was held accountable. He was impeached for it, so there's not that's going to stop him from calling up Lev Parnas and China and all sorts of other places to investigate a political rival. Yes, he was impeached. He's forever impeached, but he's still gonna be like, I don't really care. He doesn't care. He has no shame. It bothers him that he was impeached, but once he's acquitted, he's just gonna use that, and he doesn't care. You guys have literally set a standard to where he can now do anything that he wants, and there are no consequences. And they say that 75% of the country wanted witnesses. He admitted on camera that they voted against what 75% of this country wanted. Think about that. On camera, he's like, majority of people wanted witnesses, but we decided not to because reasons. So you ignored what your constituents, your voters, the people that put you in office wanted? Are you freaking kidding me? You just admitted that on CNN, you piece of garbage human being. And then he talks about how that on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to see that Republicans aren't just going to defend what the president said. They've yet to. They're too afraid of him to come out and do anything about it. So why am I going to go around thinking that the president of the United States is going to give a flying crap, or the Republicans are even going to say anything? Because they're not. We all know that they're not. We all know that the Republicans know that he's guilty. We all know that there were Republicans in the room when he said stuff, and they just don't care. They're more interested in keeping their seats and keeping that Trump support, because it is no longer the Republican Party. It is the party of Donald Trump and his sycophants, and it's disgusting. And it's just, it's frustrating. It was a kick in the teeth. It really was a kick in the teeth, because I'm smart enough to know that it probably wasn't going to happen. But I was hoping maybe just a couple of senators. We needed two more to stand up and do what was right. And only two could stand up and do what was right. How disgusting is that? Two Republican senators are the only ones that would stand up and do what was right. Even though you have one on live television admitting what he had done was absolutely wrong. And it wasn't the perfect call Donald Trump is trying to make it out to be. And they know they didn't hold him accountable, that it was a slap on the wrist. And they don't care. They just don't care anymore. And they don't care. He states on the thing that they don't care what their constituents want. He admitted that majority of Americans wanted witnesses. Sorry, guys, about the camera shake. And the majority of Americans wanted witnesses. They admit that majority of Americans are not happy with what Trump did. They just don't care. They only care about Trump's base. And Trump does not serve the American people. He only serves his base. The rest of us, he honestly would probably just round up and get rid of and deport, but he can't deport me because I'm an American citizen born here, so good luck with that, Trump. Alright guys, I have got several more videos to record on this situation because it was just a really, really bad day to be an American, and I'm sad. Like many other Americans, I am disappointed in... I'm disappointed in my Senate, so I'm gonna use my First Amendment right and call him out for it, while Otis uses his First Kitty Amendment right and attacks me in all my videos. For those of you, again, who don't know, this is Otis the foster kitty. Please spay and neuter your pets so that I don't have foster kitties like this. Yeah, I will see y'all later.